And we are the coalition, loud and proud, outrage porn-free, civilly disobedient media, broadcasting live in one of the great people-watching locations in America. And, of course, I'm talking about D. Pasquale Square, right off of Atwells Avenue. I'm with Rick Simone, of course, of the Federal Hill Commerce Association, a prominent figure, not just in establishing, let's just say taking Federal Hill to an entirely new level, where it has been cited as an international destination, but also being one of the clear voices during the pandemic, pointing out the importance of Federal Hill. And let me just ask you about that, Rick. Very often, Federal Hill is the very first place folks come when they're looking potentially to move to Rhode Island. It's an important connection with the convention center and the Dunk, whether it be international sporting events and/or conventions. It's a sight to see. Brown University graduation weekend. Again, a destination spot for folks from the Rhode Island School of Design, Johnson Wales, who, by the way, many of whom's graduates work here. It's an important spot for folks visiting South County who will often make a day trip up here specifically to have dinner on Federal Hill. And as someone who's a native of the New York metropolitan area, who's seen theirs and who spends time up in Boston and sees theirs respective Federal Hills, I'll call them their Federal Hills, all right? We've seen them, quite frankly, diminish over the years. So I guess my question is it as simple as goes Federal Hill, as so goes the rest of the state?
You know, I would like to think that, and I think that there's a sense of optimism and determination that we put forth here on the Hill that is inspiring others. I've heard from other parts of the state, other parts of the city that have asked us for advice, thoughts on how we've created things, how we've encouraged people. So I think that is something that I am proud of, and I would like to think that, yeah, as Federal Hill goes, it's starting to be this catalyst as to what can happen in other areas.
It truly has become not just a place of regional affection, I'll call it, but really a destination spot in New England travel. Tonight, and we have the entire video, hopefully the sound quality good. It's a little rough outside here today. It's a spectacular day, so come by for dinner tonight. A little windy in the afternoon, but that's going to calm down. But if you could just give us the basics on Al Fresco, the Al Fresco program.
I'm sorry, Pat, hold on, somebody just fell. Hold on one second.
We're going to drink in, if you will, the atmosphere here. In front of us, of course, is the famed fountain, which my understanding is back up. And if you look at, talking about al fresco, some of the frescoes that are in the dining establishments right here in the middle of Federal Hill, D. Pasquale. Okay, he's back.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I just wanted to ask you if you could just go over the basics on the Al Fresco dining program.
Sure. So this year we've changed up things to make the traffic pattern a little simple, a little easier for people to navigate the Hill as a whole. So we'll have about 30 restaurants participating this year, which is tremendous. The timing is going to be every Friday and Saturday. The Avenue sections that will close at 3:30 and won't reopen until 2:30 in the morning. So dining takes place usually between 5 p.m. and 1 a.m. in that area that most people are dining and enjoying themselves. From the Arch to Dean Street will remain open to vehicle traffic, and the restaurants there will have parklets. So there's sections in front of the restaurant that'll be closed off where people will be able to sit and expand in those areas because we have fewer restaurants in that section, about 4 or 5. This section, there's about 24, 25. From Dean Street to Lily Street will be completely closed, but down past Lily Street traffic will still be able to come up and cut through to the neighborhoods. So we've changed the traffic pattern for the better.
And what is the date range on this?
So it's May 13th and goes all the way up until October 1st, so 20 weeks. Interspersed in there is our 2 festivals, so really 22 weeks of activities, the Summer Festival Father's Day weekend and the Columbus Festival Columbus Day weekend.
Excellent. I mean, this is destination dining, but it's a destination people watching. But as a Rhode Islander, we constantly talk about supporting local. This is the place to do it. And that brings me to sort of my final question. Unfortunately, and we're Rhode Islanders, we can be pretty rough on ourselves and our fellow Rhode Islanders. There are those that would make hay out of this perceived aura of negativity about Providence. Full disclosure, my business is based in Providence. I spend most of my waking hours during the week in Providence, and I come here on weekends whenever I can. I find it to be one of the safest cities in America. It's a walking city, which is, I can't tell you how unusual it is that in the rest of the country. But, and there's, we're not going to name names, but there are some media forces at work that, again, are trying to make hay over this perception of Providence. What are your thoughts on that?
Pat, I'm the eternal optimist, and I always had that. I came here when I was a young kid to go to college, and I have not left. I've made this my state, my city. I've raised my family here. I have the greatest sense of optimism and pride in everything that happens in Providence, the highs, the lows, and the in-betweens. Providence is a great destination. It is now known internationally, started that with Buddy Cianci going into today. I think our police chief is amazing now. I have no fears of walking anywhere. Are we going to have normal problems that occur in an average city? Of course. Are we safer than the average city? I believe so. So my optimism and my pride in what happens in Providence is tremendous. We are a great destination, world-class restaurants, world-class shopping, universities. It's something that people should experience. And really, for those naysayers that are out there, come out, walk with us. Tell us what you think. Tell us what's going on, and we can show you what's really happening.
Final thought. You know, I'm from the New York metropolitan area. New York City, of course, is an international city, a destination spot. Los Angeles, Chicago. Those are sort of the big cities that are on a separate level. And then you've got cities, and this is me talking, not you, then you've got cities that are sort of this hodgepodge in the middle. And I'll call Boston that. I don't know if Boston has an identity left. It's a beautiful city. There's great universities there. But it certainly doesn't have the panache, the swagger, the style of Providence. It's my contention that Providence is one of the great small cities in America, if not the best. Your thoughts?
I agree. I like I said, there's so much going for us, and I think we continue to find levels and ways to improve. I'm not going to go bag any other cities and states or areas, but I think that we've got a lot up on those areas that our size, for one, makes us a better destination, in my opinion. It makes it more manageable. It makes it better for people to enjoy. There's not too much craziness. So I think we've got a great thing going.
Rick Simone, Federal Hill Commerce Association, congratulations on the turnout today, the weather, what you've been able to do in terms of a program going forward. You know, I thanks to your work and the Commerce Association's work, and in conjunction with a lot of people behind the scenes, I think that between what's happening here, and by the way, the home show is packed, sold out this weekend in terms of vendors, that we're going to leave the whole Rona, the COVID, it's going to be just fade into the background.
We're rebounding and moving forward in a good way. Thank you, Pat.
Thanks very much.